Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gabe from Is It Scary, Wisconsin. I'm joined by my girlfriend, Autumn, tonight, and we are reviewing the burial chamber in Neenah, Wisconsin. Now, I apologize in advance because her and I are very tired. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. We've done a few retakes, and we're going to do our best to give you the best review we can. We might hear a few slurs and just maybe some incorrect facts, and I apologize in advance, but we're going to give you the best review that we possibly can. Now, driving up to the burial chamber, um, it was busy. It was really busy, right?
It was definitely a lot busier than I thought it would be
Oh yeah.
because, I mean, I've heard that this is like a very big haunted house attraction, but I didn't expect it to be this busy. I mean, it kind of makes sense since it's like 2 weekends before Halloween. So, like, maybe a lot of people have like Halloween parties to go to and just a lot of other things before,
Hmm.
this weekend and like in the coming weekends. So maybe they just don't have time to go to it. So they picked this weekend to go.
Excuse me. And um and I do feel like if you do go, you should definitely buy an online ticket. If if it is happens to be very busy, the general admission buy a ticket on site is a lot longer of a line than it is for the online waiver that you would just buy and just show, and they give you a ticket. Now, going into the haunted houses, we're going to start with Phobia. That's the first one I went to. Um, I thought it was pretty cool. They definitely got a few good scares on me. I like the woods atmosphere because it's quiet. You never know what to expect, but it was kind of loud actually. Autumn over here, she
Yeah.
thinks it's pretty loud. I thought it was pretty cool. They definitely got pretty close and they touched me a few times. And not like, oh god, it's not like it was like a whole grab, but like it was funny. Like one guy was like, "Ooh," was just brushing against my chest. It was funny. They had plenty of actors that are hilarious. They have great, comedic lines. I enjoyed it. Phobia did a great job this year, and I'm glad they pulled it off.
Yeah, I will say there was one lady that like she did this to a girl in front of us that had like a just like her hair up in a bun and she called her a bunny and she did it with like, mine and she asked me, "Oh, where'd you get it from?" and stuff like that and I just kind of played along with her
Mm.
of like just saying like, "Yeah, I got it on Amazon for like $15 or something like that." But I will say that, you know, it was it was a good time for how the actors were. And I will say, like, as he had Gage said, it was a little bit louder because when he first told me about, the haunted house or like just phobia in general, that it would be really quiet. So I was expecting like dead silence and just pop up scares every now and then. But like, honestly, it was different from what I was anticipating.
Hmm.
So it was still good.
Oh yeah, and it was definitely a lengthy trail.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lengthy trail. It took some time to go through, and I'm glad we stopped out there to go see Phobia. Now there are two other attractions that we did go to. Burial Chamber has now has four. I didn't really get much of a scoop on the fourth one of a haunted house. I thought it's like an escape room. I don't
They
know.
said it was it's called Trap. It was like a burial experience or something like
Well,
that.
I know they have a burial simulator. I know that. I'm aware of that. But I'm confused. Are they both burial? That's something I think you guys should look up on your own. I'm sorry. Like I said, we're kind of tired right now. But um but yeah. So moving on from that, we did go to the other two main attractions. We went to I'll start with Adrenaline. Adrenaline was pretty cool. All right. It would I just like the fact they call it adrenaline because it's rambunctious, it's loud, it's crazy. You got people left and right screaming at you and stuff, and you got people climbing from around all over the top of the uh cages and such. They're everywhere. And I think they did a great job. They showed like different like themes like war, like mining. I all I got really was war from it, I
There
would
was
say.
medical things, I
Medical.
believe. Like there were some medical tables and like there was this one guy that like towards the end of it, he was like he kind of looked like an American flagger. Like he had his red stripes and stuff like that
Mhm.
of face paint and whatnot. And like, he's all like, oh yeah, Uncle Sam wants you, you, and you. And like, he was all like, but not you, or to one of our friends in our group, which was pretty funny. I almost wanted to say like, oh, you sure don't want me, but I didn't think of that until after we passed him. But
So, what did you think of like the setup and the actors and such? You think they're pretty cool?
well, I will say I didn't expect because I've only ever been to like 2 haunted house attractions last year. I'm like, this is the first time going to Burial Chamber, and I will say for adrenaline, like compared to Phobia, it was a lot more in your face kind of deal. Like when they would scare you, they'd be like very close to you. At least in my opinion, they were.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't all like that. There were still like louder noises and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but it was definitely a lot more of a, I would
It's
say,
pretty crazy.
it was more of a culture shock.
Culture shock, yeah. Oh yeah. So she's kind of new to it. So it's a lot of different things that she's not used to. I'm used to the whole people get in my face for when it comes on different haunted houses. So and that just goes to show you that there's two different people. There's many different people that will experience it in their own different ways. So just because my review may be something else, maybe you might love it. Maybe it might be the scariest thing in the world to you. But now moving on. Now there's also one last house that we did go to, and that was called Insanity. Now let me tell you what Insanity has to be one of my favorites for the fact that um, Insanity has a lot of mind tricks. I've mentioned it before in the past year. Plenty of mind tricks. I love it. It messes with your head and it gets in your head, and then there's so many different like twists and turns and weird contortions, and there's points where you got to get down. And I wouldn't say crawl, but you had to crouch. You had to climb
Mhm.
through it. Now I think that's pretty cool. Insanity has always been near dear to my heart. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I like saving that for last because it's saving the best for last. So I really enjoyed it. It was a pretty cool experience, and I'm glad I got to share it with a lot of people. Now I'm gonna turn it over to sorry, I told you we're tired. We're gonna slur. I'm gonna turn it over to Autumn. I'm gonna see what you think. Autumn? What did you think of Insanity?
Well, I will say there were certain parts because like this haunted house, like I will say for those of you that like can't handle like strobe lights and stuff like there's a lot of that in this place, and like I'm one of those people that just can't. So I was basically just like hiding in his back most of the time because of that, because it's a lot. Like there have been a few times that I did look up, and it was like only for like a few seconds for like one of the things we had to go through. Like I'm not gonna give much away of it, but it will make you fall over from what I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought he did fall over,
Oh yeah, I fell over quite a few
and
times.
I did close my eyes for it because I just like it's like there's railing that you grab onto and stuff like that. And there was that part, and there was another part that like he told me to look, and like whenever he told me to, it was like nothing bad, which was good cuz like knowing him and how many haunted houses he's been to, he would most likely do something like that. But, thankfully he didn't. And um yeah, no. And it was the one part that I was kind of like iffy on was like there was like this one part of um it's like inflatables
Mm-hmm.
essentially, and well, how did she put it? It's almost like you're being reborn kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And just having to
It.
like go through it,
Oh yeah.
and it was pitch black, and I'm just like, why? Just and
It's
when
it.
you and when you get down, it's like more strobe lights, and it's like, okay, great.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So keep this spoiler free. We're gonna do our best. That there's definitely had a lot of different optical illusions, different moves and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Now, I didn't talk about tickets. Now again, like I said, I'm a little tired. I don't remember much. But what we did do was it's $30 for 3 attractions. Now, mind you, that most of these attractions can range from 20 to 30 minutes long. And now, I don't know about you, but having $10, say a house, for up to 30 minutes, that's an incredible value. And I like it. I've always liked Burial Chamber for the quality and quantity. They have both, and I'm so glad that we had time to go out there. Now it all comes on the brass of it. What ratings would you give the burial chamber?
I mean, for someone that doesn't go to haunted houses very much, and I mean, I like other aspects of Halloween and stuff like that, but I will say for this place, I would say 7.5, 8, like
Seven and
so,
a half.
somewhere in there.
All right,
So,
all right, that's fine. Fair enough. Now for me, uh, it's kind of hard for me to put this together, say to like compare it to Revenge, because Revenge, it's almost kind of not fair for the fact that the burial chamber has like 30-minute long houses and three different houses,
mhm.
and as opposed to Revenge, which is a great one scare at a time, for the house. Um, Now, I would probably give it, if I could say out of all the times, I would probably give it an 8.5. I've been sticking on the eights this year. I'm sorry, you guys. Wow, I haven't really expanded out. All the haunted house did really great this year. But I'll probably give it an 8.5 for the fact that I like that. I like the whole 30 minutes. It's long and it's got a lot of cool animatronics, a lot of cool inflatables, a lot of cool optical illusions. I like it, and it gets your mind going and it makes you wonder. So, yeah, I would say 8.5, and you said seven,
Well, 7.5, 8.
7.5, 8.
Mm.
All right, fair enough. So I think there's honestly just one question to ask:
Is
Is
it is it scary?
is it scary?
It is.
You tell us, Wisconsin. You take care. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like. Thanks.